clear. Did you kill Sharon Mathews?
Against his wife.
It is the question little Sharon's father refused to answer this afternoon. Wesley Mathews took the stand, fighting for custody of his older daughter, with his wife watching on. But the real question remains, what happened to Sharon? First at 5, Sharon Mathews' parents left their jail cells just long enough today to fight for custody of their older daughter.
Sharon's body was found, of course, in a culvert last month, and experts said today the abuse began long before she ever disappeared from her Richardson home. News 8's David Goins was in the courtroom today, so what else did we learn, David?
Well, John, that certainly wasn't the only question that Wesley and Sini Mathews did not answer today, invoking that Fifth Amendment privilege several times. This custody hearing was to determine aggravated circumstances, which is basically the grounds the state would have to permanently terminate Wesley Mathews' parental rights and possibly Sini Mathews as well. And today, for the first time, we heard specific details of evidence of how Wesley Mathews was with Sharon Mathews in the family's garage. And we also heard from a pediatrician detailing some of those injuries that Sharon Mathews had in a hospital months before she died. Now, this was the first time that Sini and Wesley Mathews were in the same room since Wesley was arrested for felony injury to a child back in October. Both of them, as we said, took the stand in this civil hearing, first Sini and then Wesley. And in these hearings, prosecutors can ask a number of questions witnesses do not have to answer. And both Sini and Wesley Mathews repeatedly invoked their right against self-incrimination, answering, quote, "I plead the Fifth," multiple times to dozens of questions related to Sharon Mathews' death. Now, again, she was found in that culvert back in late October, 2 weeks after Wesley Mathews says he grew frustrated with the little girl because she refused to drink milk. Now, in prosecutors' line of questioning this afternoon, they revealed that Wesley told Richardson police that he actually yelled at the little girl in the garage early on October 7th to drink her milk, and at that time, she choked, and that Wesley Mathews held her in his arms as her body became lifeless and cold. Neither of the Mathews ever called 911 that morning. Prosecutors did ask Sini, did you fail to protect Sharon from your husband? She didn't answer. Now, after this hearing recessed for the afternoon, Sini Mathews' attorney discussed her emotional state.
She can't win either way. If she acts stoic, then she's a cold woman. If she's crying hysterical, then she's guilty. She can't win with certain people.
And a little bit more on that emotional disposition. The testimony ended today with a pediatrician from Children's Health Hospital who, after reviewing Sharon Mathews' body while she was still alive back in February, determined she had multiple fractures in her body that had healed over time, showing that she had been subject to repeated instances of trauma, and that likely that occurred here in the U.S. When she told Sini Mathews she was going to call CPS based on these unexplained injuries, Sini Mathews says it wasn't necessary and that she was upset that CPS was going to be contacted because, quote, it would disrupt and ruin their plans for that coming weekend. We are live in Dallas. David Goins, Channel 8 News.